Hello and welcome back to the channel. Man, the news on AH just never stops. Official Women's March organization throws their support behind AH, affirming her defamatory claims of DA against JD. I gotta say, this is kind of disappointing for this organization to come out in support of her, given her history. So without further ado, let's get into this story. Despite having been found by a court of law to have provably defamed her ex-husband with her seemingly projected accusations. Yeah, they're not just seemingly. I mean, she's basically projecting the things that she's doing onto other people. The official Women's March organization has come out in full support of Amber Heard's story, that she suffered a torrent of bad treatment at the hands of JD. The organization, founded in 2017 as a part of TDS, the Trump derangement syndrome, by neoliberals in protest of what they perceived as a threat by, the orange man bad, to the rights of women across the country, and whose self-described mission is to harness the political power of diverse women and their communities to create transformative social change. That's real sketchy, because that doesn't sound like that's anything about actually their stated thing, which is women's rights. This is very nebulous, so that they can actually apply their talking points to much larger things. Probably things that they shouldn't be involved in, but they will get involved in because they're going to claim that it's social justice, right? The official Women's March cited Aquaman actress's case as one of the reasons the organization exists. We believe Angelina Jolie and AH and a bunch of other people that they list. So often, DV survivors are shamed and silenced. Yeah, I certainly don't think that people who are actual victims should be shamed or silenced. When a victim or survivor speaks out, they deserve our support. I agree. If a victim or survivor speaks out on DV, then that does deserve our support. Now, where they cross the line is where they make accusations that are unfounded. That's the part where they're speaking out maybe against their alleged person who did the bad things. As in the case of AH, where she basically named and shamed JD, and then was found to have lied by a jury, by a court of law. And not just a little bit, all of JD's things were upheld, basically. Like 90% of them or something like that. And he was awarded $10 million. She was awarded $2 million. Actually, he was awarded $15 million, which then was reduced to $10.3 million, and she was awarded $2 million on one allegation. Notably, this remains the only tweet the Women's March on the subject, not only did they abstain from engaging with critics of their endorsement, but they have since turned their attentions to bring Election Day awareness to its followers. So, see what I was talking about earlier? They're going to use their social justice aspect to talk about all sorts of stuff that has nothing to do with DV. So let's take a look at this tweet that Women's March put out, and let's look and see at how they're getting absolutely destroyed in the responses. First, Amber Heard makes it hard for real victims. Stop backing a liar. I do not stand with Amber Heard. She is an abuser. Amber Heard, who called herself Martha Jane Canary, Calamity Jane, who was arrested for DV herself. Now, I don't know that she was actually arrested, but she definitely had an incident which involved law enforcement. I like this. I could just vomit. You really have no shame. I don't and won't support AH. I stand with real DV survivors. Talking about, like her ex-wife, Taysa Van Ree, who was involved in and there was an altercation with not one but two law enforcement officers witnessing what happened. And no, it has nothing to do with misogyny or homophobia, because I believe the officer who testified in this trial between AH and JD is actually a lesbian. So she just saw something happening. She knew what she saw. She knew that it was DV, and she stepped in to stop it. And so you can't use this defense. You can't use this shield of homophobia, because that's not the case. This one from Sandra D. When you combine survivors and an abuser together, how can anybody believe you? Here's what I was talking about. This is the photo of the officer, the law enforcement officer, Beverly Leonard. I'm not sure who of you leaked it to TMZ my pics, but I wanted to personally thank you for setting the record straight, pun intended. I am so not homophobic or misogynistic, but she's a woman and she's a lesbian. The arrest was made because an assault occurred. I witnessed it, and the parties were in a domestic relationship. P.S. If you got paid, I want a cut. Are you looking for support? Because when you lump the malicious abuser AH with the likes of Rihanna and Halle Berry, you lose support by the millions. Do these women even know you're using their name next to her? How shameful and irresponsible of you. And it just goes on and on. She had 6 years of lying and defaming. Actually offensive to put the names of genuine survivors with the likes of someone who defamed with malice as proven in court with evidence. No one silenced her. She had her day in court and lost. AH is an abuser, litigated, found guilty of defamation, a fraud, and a liar. Nothing you say will change that. You aren't helping real victims if you add abuser AH to the list of abuse survivors. For real, putting her on that list is insulting. To name her as a victim/survivor is dishonest. You can't exonerate her just because she's a woman. Wow, calling it out point blank for what it is. Did you follow the trial or listen to AH's defense at all? She literally admitted to hitting him. There you have it. AH and Women's March getting absolutely wrecked in the comments to their tweet where they threw in their hat in support of AH. Absolutely disgusting. And just like some of these people say, like, you aren't really helping victims. You are insulting the real victims by putting her on this list. Absolutely disgusting, in my opinion. Well, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. In the meantime, you want to continue to smash the narrative and support this channel, then please click the like, share, and subscribe buttons. We're pushing for 600 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed yet and you're enjoying this content, please, all you do is have to click that little button, subscribe. It will help my channel out immensely, and I would thank you greatly for that help. That's all I have for now, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.